Susan Kiely, a woman taking a stand in Colorado. Susan Kiely was born in 1947 in the state of New York out of a wedlock. Susan's mother eventually married. She was very young age when this happened. For a long time, she thought this man was her father. That man eventually sexually abused her.
The sexual abuse is something that is extremely difficult to talk about. It's a child or an adult that's sexually abused. It's like someone takes part of your heart. I know that Jesus has healed me. I have been blessed by the fact that I've been healed to a degree that I don't distrust men. But it takes part of your heart. And I believe that in the world we are far too callous when it comes to understanding what a person goes through when they've been abused.
Now, that wasn't her only struggle. Susan also suffered dyslexia, and she also had a struggle with her mother's bipolar disorder. During all grade school, Susan and her mother moved around 13 times. Many of the reasons why they moved was because Susan's mother didn't make enough to pay rent. Susan's mother told her that if she made it to high school, that they would stay in the same area for 4 years so she could stay at the same school. When Susan was in high school, one of the nuns recommended her to go into the teaching field. After that, Susan went to Gwynedd Mercy University, where she got her bachelor's degree in early childhood education. She went on to teach in inner city schools in Philadelphia.
Then I met the man of my dreams, and 3 weeks later we got engaged, and 2 months later we got married. Now, a lot of people would say I was nuts, but I saw the character of this man to be so strong. He was someone who believed in Jesus. We were the same religion. He just was a nice person. I met his friends, and they were nice individuals, and I just thought that was the end, that I had met the guy. And because he loved me unconditionally, I think that really helped. When he asked me to marry him, he said, "Marry me, I will make the money so you can save the world." Well, little did I know that he would follow through on his promise.
Theo and Susan have been married for more than 40 years now. The invitation that changed it all.
There was an invitation to go to the world's AIDS breakfast to learn about AIDS, and it was in New York City, and it was at the exact time I would be there. So I felt that was like a divine appointment that I should go. So I went, and much to my surprise, there were some other women that I knew that were there. And I heard them talking about India and how AIDS was so rampant in India, but the government of India does not allow that information to get out. And I felt thinking, what can I do? So I decided I would go to India to inspect. And I went to India, and I saw that they had all these women and men and children that were part of a caste system, and they were called Dalits or Dalits, the untouchables. And these were men and women and children that were completely looked down upon and disenfranchised. It's almost like they had no rights. And they had no way of making a living other than maybe sweeping the floor or cleaning out the sewer system. And they got paid almost. I thought to myself, I can help them in some way. And as I was there, I also saw that India has beautiful material, beautiful silk. So I got in my mind that I would see if I could bring women from the United States over, and we could make beautiful clothing out of this material, and then we could sell it in the United States. And a friend of mine that I really didn't know very well introduced me to a man named Joseph D'Souza, who's the father of the Dalits, and he said that he would help me set up a workroom. So I went back to the United States. I found a pattern maker. We made patterns. I found a bunch of women that would volunteer, and we made our first trip a month later with about 12 women, and we started teaching them how to sew. And we partnered with a group called Operation Mercy India, and we worked for 5 years there and taught the.
She knew it was time to do something in Denver. That's how she started Women with a Cause. Women with a Cause provides economic development programs that focus mainly on education and skill training for women so they can leave a poverty status.
I know what my mother went through. I know how difficult it is, and it gives me great joy to see these wonderful women succeed and be wonderful mothers. When I first started this project, so many people said, "You'll never be able to do anything. These women, their self-esteem is so poor, they're not very bright, yada, yada, yada." And I will tell you, these women are incredibly bright, and they want to be good mothers. They want to give back. So many of them want to go in nursing because they want to give back, and they really have a heart that's giving. My women get good grades. I have many of my women that are getting 4 points, a 4.0. I have some that are getting a 3.5, but no one gets below a 3.5. And I know these women are not being just given the grades. I know they're earning the grades. And in our program, they also have to work part-time. So I understand how hard it is for them, and yet they're doing it.
Susan Kiely thanks God for all the work she's been able to do through him, for all the prayers he answered, for the women she's helped. During Susan's life, she has been honored and awarded many times. Some of these include Women of Distinction Award from the Girl Scout of America Association, VOA National Volunteer Award, the Angel Award, Alumni of the Year Award, and the Top 25 Most Powerful Women in Colorado Award.
And if I want to be remembered when I die, it's not for what I did, it's that I allowed God to work through me. And I think that people like Mother Teresa and people that really had strong faith, Martin Luther King, and people like that, they would say the same thing, that they gave it to God and they allowed God to work through them.
If you search the definition of taking a stand, you'll find this definition: adopt a firm position about an issue. There are many examples of people in history who have taken a firm position. Colorado's Susan Kiely is the epitome, using her long history of struggles as a foundation. She has helped women rise above the same difficulties she faced once, giving them opportunities to experience success and create next generations of Colorado leaders.